I would say all of my favorite people suffered trauma.
Right.
It makes us more sensitive to ourselves, to the world, to the other people. I think it makes us kinder.
Right.
You know, I think it makes us more thankful. Oh my gosh, I'm so appreciative of what I have. You know, I do think it sort of lets us give that 5-year window of, oh my gosh, look what I did get done.
Right.
You know, so all of my favorite people have that complexity of overcoming. And sometimes, I mean, it could be a birth defect. It could be, you know, it could
something
be
that you
accident.
can't change,
yeah.
but you can
You still
reorganize
decide.
and decide on how you're going to live your life with it.
Yeah, I mean, we've only got one life. Let
Right.
us absolutely do that. You know, do something fine with it.
Exactly.
So yeah, if you're saying I want to have an impact, and here I am, you know, as I said, 68, still wanting to have an impact, and I look around, and especially post-COVID, people are so lonely.
They are so lonely.
And they have lost so many of the casual connections. They're just gone. The world changed during COVID. Good, bad, or otherwise, it changed. And so, you know, if this is the place where, you know, come on in, hang out, you know, talk, sit down. Women used to have so many ways to build communities.
Right.
And we've lost a lot of that, you know, and I look at my daughter, who's, you know, a very talented, wonderful person, but she's married, she's got 2 kids, she's got a demanding job. Where is her community? Where's her support infrastructure?
Right.
And that's terrible that women, but we all do it. If I've got responsibilities, the first thing that goes off the list are the things that feed me.
Right.
Because I need to be there for everybody else.
Exactly.
So
it's kind of like self-care needs to be mandatory.
well, it needs
Not
to be taught.
Yes.
When we're taught you can't, you're limited, I will give you what you need,
Right.
then you've abdicated so much of yourself. We were blank slates that got written on with the negative and the small and the, you know, you know, and so to take charge of that eraser and say, oh heck no, that you know, excuse me, that was not what was supposed to happen in my life.
That's right.
You know, and my dad would say things to me like, oh my gosh, Rickie, you could have been anything if you'd been a boy. And I'm like, well, so what can I be now? I mean, you know, where are the limits of not being a boy? Well, that was pretty easy to find out, right? Credit card number 1. But
That still amazes me.
It is the questions then you start asking.
Right.
And so so following through, backtracking a little bit on that, I try not to say can't anymore. After you realize how many times you say can't in some way or another to yourself about what you're going to do, you know, then you start saying, okay, I'm not going to ascribe feelings to that. So like we recently had a flood in our house, and we had 2 days later got hit by the tornado, so we've got roof damage. I mean, it's a mess. My house is a mess. All my stuff's in storage, you know, all the things. It's really
all
bad.
Disorganized and hard to deal.
Yeah. And so people keep saying how frustrating, and it's like I don't want to live 6 months frustrated. And so I'm not letting that word, because a lot of the words that we pull up or give people or write on their blank slates, you know, are
right.
Exactly. So now I say, it's an inconvenience, but I'm going to get through it, you know, and or I say, you know, we're not wounded, we're not harmed, we're not financially impacted, we've got good insurance, nobody was hurt. This is just, you know, it's a hiccup to get through.
Right.
And it puts it so
and
much
grateful for
that
maybe
I
what
have
some
insurance.
other
Yeah.
that maybe other people don't have.
But you see that done to kids, and you know, I see it with my grandkids, you know. She'll say, well, she's left-handed, and she'll say, I can't do that, I'm left-handed. And I'm like, you can do it. You're smart, you're resourceful, and it may be a little bit more difficult, or you have to learn a new trick, but you can do that. But there's hundreds of things that we give kids, you know. So you have a kid who has allergies, so he doesn't feel good in the spring a lot, you know, he doesn't have the energy. And so you start saying, well, you just don't have the energy of your siblings, or, you know, you're just not as curious, or you're just quieter by nature. Well, this kid grows up going, oh, I'm just quiet, and I don't, and then you find out, I have allergies.
Right.
You know, how long have I lived a lifestyle, you know, made decisions based on what I was told
from
I
teachers
was.
or family.
Yeah, from
or
our mothers.
our
I mean, you know,
mothers.
people
Yeah.
who want the best for us are giving us excuses
Right.
that diminish us because we don't know any better. We don't go into it saying,
Mom, you're wrong.
well, we don't go into it saying, I'm going to empower them with everything that happens is for them.
Right.
You know, and I hear my daughter now say to her daughter, she'll say, you know, it's like I came out of the depths and only made it halfway out, you know, but my goal was to have my daughter make it all the way out. Yeah. And so her goal is to elevate her kids. And I go, oh, you know, what did we do in a lifetime? We moved from here to here in a trajectory. But she'll say to her kids, everybody's got something they struggle with. This one's yours, and this one can be solved. So you're really lucky. I mean, you know, it's like, well, you know, I have to wear glasses, but I'm really lucky because mine can be solved. You know, some people are still searching for their solution. You know, and it's just, yes, that's how we have to view the world. That's how we. So, you know, coming from the home that was a hot mess to saying, I'm going to change this so that other people don't have to go through it, to, okay, that's done. What next? You know, it has been a wonderful life, you know, and now I am at the other end going, you know, I don't choose to stay in drama or trauma because it's not good for me.
Right.
I'm glad someone's still doing that work. It's not over, you know.
Right.
I'm not letting people write on my blank slate anymore. You know, I'm never going to be a blank slate again. I'm going to hold out there that this is an inconvenience, but it's not frustrating. It's something to cope with. That didn't happen to me, and I'm not a victim. It happened for me, and I'm seeing, what am I supposed to learn this time? You know?
And you can do that while you're bawling.
Oh yeah. It's not.
What am I supposed to learn?
Well, that's a physiological release of stress.
I know.
You know, part of self-care is 5 minutes of crying.
That's right.
Part of self-care.
For everyone.
For everyone.
Not just women.
Yeah, highly recommended. That and bubble baths. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, you know, I do think we have way more control than we give ourselves credit for to manifest and to live the life that we choose. You know, and I guess I'll say, people think, oh, well, you can't manifest out of, you know, but I don't believe that. You know, you believe in prayer. You know, you believe in you know, all the religions have some version of it. You believe in karma. You believe in meditating. All the religion, all the great philosophies, everything of civilization has some version of it. If you believe you can learn to reach out your hand and pick something up that impacts the world, why does that reach stop at the end of your hand? You know, if you can pick up the phone and reach someone around the world and impact the world, then where are you really stopped other than where you choose to believe you are stopped? So I do believe the quest and the goal of life is to remove as many limits as we can in this lifetime, and I think that will take us further in the next. So
that's so awesome.
And if you do that through art, which is what I'm choosing to do now because it gives me daily joy. I literally have an alarm on my phone that goes off at 1 o'clock every day, and it says make something.
Make something.
That's my 1 o'clock alarm. And if I haven't made anything yet, then it's stop and I make something.
Make something.
And I
doing something for yourself.
Yeah,
creatively.
So this is one of my creations, and I've got
think
paintings
they can
that I
see
do.
that.
It doesn't matter. It's
beautiful.
make something, you know, make something. And it renews the spirit. I think we are tied to our hearts and that need to express. And at first, you know, my drawings were very dark, you know, because that's what I had to express. But then you get tired of the dark and you start drawing the violets and, you know,
the sunshine.
So it's all okay. But everybody's got a piece of their heart they need to, you know, don't let and again, I wish I was better at names and quotes, but it's don't let that pain live inside. Express it and give it its own place so that you can heal. It can't stay in there. So whether your way of expressing it out is communication, doing videos, writing books, doing art, writing music, hugging people, being a social worker, however it is, do it. Just do it and do it without limits, because there are no limits. There are no limits.
No limits. Just
And you're not a
figure it
blank
out.
slate.
And I'm not a blank slate.
That's right. That's right. Mhm.
Oh, this has been great. I've learned so much from
Oh,
you
well,
as
thanks
well.
for stopping in. It was
Yeah.
so fun to pop into your shop and to just get to know you that day. So I'm so glad you kept my card and came up to say hi.
Me too. This is a wonderful shop. So if you do get to Greenwood, please come in to Crafts and Creations. And like she said, this is a social place. If you want to just come hang out, you'll get a lot of wisdom coming out of this lady.
Oh, I can teach you how to paint furniture too.
Okay, there you go. I might take that class as well. So thank you so much.
It was a
Rickie.
pleasure. Thank you.
It really was. And you've spoken a lot of wisdom that we need to remind ourselves of, because we sometimes forget.
Especially the people going through trauma.
Right.
You know, you can. It's this world teaches hopelessness. Our news teaches hopelessness, and you know, a lot of aspects in our life teaches hopelessness and powerlessness. And you got to turn that off. You got to turn it around.
Right.
If you know, and you can.
And you can.
And you can.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us, and I will talk to you soon. Bye from Ann Payton.
Bye.